Last time I asked, who is the smallest known Pokemon thus far in 7 generations? I realize I made a mistake with this question. I thought there was only one answer. It turns out there are 5 Pokemon the exact same size. So if you guessed any of these 5, you are correct. The answer, or answers, are Joltik, Flabebe, Cutiefly, Comfey, and Cosmoem. All 5 of these Pokemon are only 4 inches tall, or 0.1 meter. Shown next to a human would look like this, and now on with the video. Professor Pokemon here with everything you ever wanted to know about Venusaur. Venusaur is the seed Pokemon, which it shares that category with its pre-evolved forms Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, as well as Sunkern. Other characteristics it shares with its pre-evolutions are it is a grass and poison dual-type Pokemon, has a capture rate of 45 or 5.9%, belongs to the monster and grass egg groups, and maintains its ability of Overgrow and hidden ability Chlorophyll. Other things to note about Venusaur is defeating or capturing one will give your Pokemon 2 points in special attack and 1 point in special defense upon leveling up. Speaking of stats, Venusaur's base stats listed below total up to 525. Venusaur is 6'7" or 2 meters and weighs 220.5 pounds or 100 kilograms. Unlike Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, Venusaur has a visual difference between male and female. Females are much rarer to find than males because of a ratio of 7 male to 1 female, or an 87.5% male to 12.5% female. However, if you do spot a female Venusaur, notice the seed in the center of its flower. Venusaur, being a final form of a starter, has the ability to use the move Frenzy Plant, one of the most powerful grass-type moves known to us so far, with a power of 150 and requires the user to take a turn to recharge, similar to Hyper Beam. Venusaur's shiny sprite remains unchanged since the 2nd generation with a light green body and a yellow-orange flower. Notable Pokédex entries I want to talk about are the gold version entry. By spreading the broad petals of its flower and catching the sun's rays, it fills its body with power. Venusaur's emerald dex entry states, Venusaur's flower is said to take on vivid colors if it gets plenty of nutrition and sunlight. The flower's aroma soothes the emotion of people. The other Pokédex entries state a lot of the same information, but here's a compilation of Venusaur's dex entries thus far. Venusaur, like Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, was confirmed by Ken Sugimori to be a creature that is something like a frog. Sugimori said in another interview describing the origin and basic themes of the original starter Pokemon, quote, "The experience of keeping small animals such as frogs, lizards, and baby turtles as pets gives the game a sense of reality and makes it easier to get into the game. I realized it might be difficult to make an emotional connection if the first partner Pokemon is a tough-looking character." End quote. Venusaur's characteristics with its large snout, wide mouth, wide eyes, bumpy wart-like skin, and quadruped-like movements all resemble a frog. Venusaur's walk cycle in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee support Venusaur being frog-like too. Unlike Bulbasaur, Venusaur's ears are likely to be ears as they have hollows indicating they are ears and not glands that are seen on some frogs. The flower on Venusaur's back resembles the Rafflesia arnoldi, the same flower that Vileplume is based off of. Venusaur's name comes from Venus as in Venus flytrap, or possibly venom, referring to its poison typing, and Saur, which is ancient Greek for lizard. Venusaur's Japanese name, Fushigi-bana, is a pun on Fushigi na Hana, meaning strange flower. I also really liked Venusaur's Mandarin Chinese name, which literally means wonderful frog flower. Venusaur has made several appearances in the anime, manga, and even the games. Let's talk about some of those appearances. Let's talk about the games first. In Pokemon Gold and Silver, as well as Heart Gold and Soul Silver games, after defeating all 16 gym leaders, your player has access to Mount Silver. There are some pretty powerful Pokemon, but on the summit is the most powerful trainer in the game, Red. His team consists of Pokemon in their 70s and a Pikachu at level 81. As part of Red's team is a level 77 Venusaur. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his team's levels were raised and his level 77 Venusaur is now level 84. Red to this date is still the most powerful NPC in any Pokemon game. Venusaur has made several anime appearances too. Too many to name, but here are the notable ones. Venusaur's debut was in Bulbasaur's Mysterious Garden, where it was leading an evolution ceremony for Mini Bulbasaur to evolve into Ivysaur. Next I want to mention is Spencer's Venusaur. Spencer is one of the 7 Frontier brains in the Battle Frontier. His Venusaur debuted in Cutting the Ties That Bind. Venusaur used Sweet Scent to calm some angry Beedrill from attacking Ash and his Sceptile. Ash battles Spencer and his Venusaur in the next episode at the Battle Palace to win his 5th symbol, the Spirit Symbol, in Kaboom with a View. Venusaur defeated Ash's Heracross, but was then defeated by Swellow. Next notable appearance is May's Venusaur. May caught a Bulbasaur in Grass Hysteria. After Ash returned to Pallet Town to start his adventure in the Battle Frontier, May revealed she left her Bulbasaur at home in the right place at the right mime. During Ash's time in the Sinnoh region, May visits Ash to compete in a special Pokemon contest called the Wallace Cup. In the episode Pruning a Passel of Pals, it was revealed her Bulbasaur has evolved all the way to Venusaur. If you look closely, you will see her Venusaur is female. Another appearance is in the first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Ash meets 3 other trainers, one of them is Corey, who has a Venusaur nicknamed Brute Root. A fun, minor appearance is in Ghost of Maiden's Peak. Ash and crew were battling against a Ghastly, who summoned a Venusaur and Blastoise to battle Ash's Bulbasaur and Squirtle. The two then merged into one being known as Venustoise. My last major Venusaur anime appearance I want to cover is in the episode Enter the Dragonite. Ash was battling against Drake, the Orange Crew Supreme Gym Leader, the final challenge in the Orange Islands. Drake used a Venusaur against Ash's Tauros and was defeated by Tauros' takedown attack. As I said, there were several Venusaur in the anime, and I encourage you to go through the episodes to see just how many Venusaur you can spot. Venusaur has made several appearances throughout the different manga adaptations as well. In the Electric Tale of Pikachu, there is a local legend stating a 300-year-old tree was grown out of a Venusaur who protected the town from invaders many years ago. Gary has a Venusaur which was sent out with his other Pokemon to battle a giant Slowpoke. In the Gotta Catch 'Em All manga, Shu encounters a Venusaur in the chapter A Powerful Opponent Venusaur. Shu battles the Venusaur and attempts to capture it but fails in the end. Erica has a Venusaur that debuted in Big Struggle with the Powerful Opponent Venusaur. Giovanni has a Venusaur and Bring Down the Strongest Pokemon. Red is shown to have a Venusaur in Red vs. Green. Professor Oak is shown with one in Save the Pokemon Zoo. There were several Venusaurs shown throughout the Pokemon Adventures manga. The most notable Venusaur appearance is Red's Venusaur named Sar. Red's Ivysaur evolved into Venusaur in the chapter The Winged Legends, while fighting a merged version of Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, along with Blue's Charizard and Green's Blastoise. Later on in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire chapter, Red obtains a Venusaur Rite, which evolves Venusaur into Mega Venusaur, which leads us into our next section. In order to Mega Evolve, most Pokemon must be holding their appropriate Mega Stone, and the trainer must have a Keystone. I say most because Rayquaza does not need a Megastone to Mega Evolve. Instead, it must know the move Dragon Ascent. Groudon and Kyogre go through a process similar to Mega Evolution, but it's called Primal Reversion, but I'll save those descriptions when the time comes to talk about them. Only one Pokemon can Mega Evolve per battle. When Venusaur Mega Evolves, the flower on its back grows larger and 2 smaller flowers bloom, one on its forehead and one on its rear. Stems and vines also appear around the flower. In this Mega Evolved state, Venusaur grows in size, going from 6'7" to 7'10", or 2.4 meters, and its weight increases from 220.5 pounds to 342.8 pounds, or 155.5 kilograms. Venusaur also sees a slight boost in attack, as well as more significant boosts in defense, special attack, and special defense. Its stats go from 525 to 625. While Venusaur's typing of grass and poison remains the same, its ability changes. Mega Venusaur has the ability Thick Fat. If a Pokemon with Thick Fat is attacked by an Ice or Fire type move, which are both strong against Venusaur, the opponent's attack or special attack is reduced by 50% during damage calculation, which means that Venusaur would only take half the damage it would receive otherwise. Mega Venusaur has made a couple anime appearances as well. A Venusaur was seen to Mega Evolve in Mega Evolution Special 1, as well as a Mega Venusaur appearing in the opening credits of Diancie in the Cocoon of Destruction movie. Before I close out this video, I have a couple random fun facts about Venusaur. Like Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, Venusaur must have a nickname in order to be traded on the GTS during the days of Pokemon Black and White in English-speaking countries. In Red, Blue, Fire Red, and Leaf Green, if you choose Charmander, then it is impossible to get Venusaur registered into the Pokédex without trading, as no NPC in the game uses a Venusaur. Although, in Fire Red and Leaf Green, after you unlock the National Dex, Cool Trainer Albert uses a Venusaur in Knockout mode at the Trainer Tower. Venusaur shares the same height and weight as the Pokemon Tropius. They are both 6'7" and 220.5 pounds. Lastly, Mega Venusaur has the highest base stat of all Poison-type Pokemon. That's all for now. Next time we will take a look at the Fire-type starter Charmander, but until then, a question on final forms of grass starters. Which of the following is the largest? A. Venusaur, B. Decidueye, C. Torterra, or D. Serperior? Come back next time to find out. Until then, this has been Professor Pokemon, and hope to teach you again soon.